So today we're starting with the coplanar, non-coplanar. So looking at, we have these two up on the board. Okay. Why do you guys think the one that is a light, traffic light, is probably not a very good example? Yes. They're all in a line. Okay. So the traffic light one is not a good example because they're all in a line. Now technically they are coplanar. Okay. But it's better if we're doing coplanar for them to be spread out like this second example. Okay. And I know it's kind of probably hard for you to see it. But with coplanar, you typically want things spread out. And coplanar just means that they're all in the same plane. Okay, so coplanar means that they're in the same plane. Okay? So I might say coplanar lines AC and BD. Or I might say coplanar points or coplanar line AC and segment BF. Okay? So there's lots of different ways to describe this. Now, if things are coplanar, what does that mean we have to draw? If they're in the same plane, we have to draw a plane, which looks like a flat surface, which looks like a box. Good. So we have to draw a box. In our box, we have to put some lines. What do we have to make sure goes on the end? If it's a line, it needs to have arrows, and then the points have to be on it. So I would draw one line, AC, and I would draw a second line, BD. Now, in my picture, the lines intersect. Do your lines have to intersect? No. Could your lines be parallel? Yep, they could be two parallel lines. They could be equal distance apart. It doesn't matter. It doesn't tell us. Okay? So there's lots of different answers here that could be correct. Okay? So as you're checking your answers with the answer key today, please know that not all of the possible solutions are listed. And if you want me to look at it and check for you to see if your answer would be correct, just let me know. Okay? So what does non-coplanar mean? Not in the same plane. Okay? And remember, I'll be giving you the words, you just have to draw the picture. And so I might say non-coplanar points A and B, where A is coplanar to C. Okay, so when non-coplanar is added in, they get messier. They get more things going on. Okay? Typically, it's not just non-coplanar. There's another term listed. Okay? So non-coplanar points A and B means one's going to be where? Out of the plane, and one's going to be in the plane. Based on the other part of it, which one's going to be in the plane? A. And which one's not going to be in the plane then? B. So you would draw your plane, draw your box. Based on the other stuff, A is going to be in the box, and then B is just somewhere outside the box. Okay? It doesn't matter where. B could be down here somewhere. Could be anywhere as long as it's not in the box, the answer is correct. What else has to go inside the box? C is inside the box. Okay? All right. So like I said, what you're going to do with this information is you're going to draw pictures of items. Okay, so technically, you're going to start in this middle column. You'll be given the words. You need to draw the picture. Okay, now, there is a GeoGebra, which is kind of nice, that has this for us. Okay? So, step 1 says, move points E, F, and G so they lie on plane A. What does that mean? Where are we going to move E, F, and G? In the plane. It's going to be inside the box. So we can take E, F, and G and move them into our box. Step 2 says move point H so that it lies outside of plane A. So where are we going to move H? Outside of the plane, which is a box. Move the line so that it contains H and intersect the plane at F. So what does this mean? What 2 points are going to be on our line? H and F. And so this one is the line. Do you guys see how it goes off the graphing area? So I'm going to put it on H. And then the other point is going to go on F. Okay, see that? Okay. Move the line segment to create line segment EF. So what 2 points have to be on the ends? E and F. So E and F are going to be on the ends. Move the ray to create ray GE. Now this is a notation, notation nightmare, because it doesn't tell us what about our ray. Yeah, which one's the endpoint and which one it goes through. Do you guys see that? Okay. You can, but it technically would be right either way. Okay? Whether E was your endpoint or G, because it doesn't tell us, both are technically correct. So I'm going to move this to G. Oh, there's the other point. And then this, I'm just going to put on E. But technically, either way would be correct. Okay? Because they didn't tell us which one was our endpoint. Okay? So if they don't tell you, know that you can just pick one and I would count it right either way. Okay? So that's the GeoGebra example. So let's go back to the examples that are in your notes. Okay? I want you to try as many of these as possible. Okay? So try as many as possible and see how confident you are. Then we will do them all together. But try as many as you can on your own right now. Then we'll do them together here in a second. So our first one is a segment with endpoints A and B. So remember, a segment is the one that ends. Okay? So it should look something like this. Segment with endpoints A and B. Okay? A line through the points C and F. So remember, a line has arrows, and then you would put C and F down. Okay? Now, you may have missed it just because it was on the right. That happens a lot. Okay? Opposite rays with endpoint K going through J and L. If something is the endpoint, where does that point go on your ray? The middle. If it is the endpoint, it means that's the point that goes in the middle. Okay, it's a very common mistake. Opposite rays means they make a what? It's opposite rays, they make a line. Endpoint K would have to go in the middle, and then J and L would be the ones on each side of it. Okay? Notice my spacing is not exactly the same. They don't have to be the same distance from K. Alright? You can have one here and one off in space somewhere. It doesn't matter. They just have to be on it. Okay? 2 rays with endpoint K going through J and L. If you had drawn this picture for this one, would it be correct? Is it 2 rays with endpoint K? Going through J and L? Oh yeah. Okay. But you don't have to. This one is very open-ended. And so what the most common thing for people to draw is for people to draw something that looks like a right angle. K would be in the middle. J and L need to be on either side. Okay? You cannot draw 2 that are separate because they share K as an endpoint. So you cannot draw them as 2 separate rays. You have to draw them together because they share that K. All right? A common mistake is to draw them separately with J and L, or draw them separately with both J and L on each. So people do KJL, KJL. You can't repeat letters, so you have to draw them together. A plane containing the lines P and AB. So how many lines are we going to draw inside of our box? If it's lines, it means that it is 2. So we have to draw 2 inside of this plane. Okay? So I'm going to draw 2 lines. On one of the lines, it has A and B. If it is a lowercase letter, where does that lowercase letter go? On the end, by one of the arrows. So I'm going to put it by this arrow. Okay? A common mistake is that people draw just one line. Okay? Another common mistake is they think this is a point, and so they put a point P on this line. That's not the case, because it's a lowercase letter, so it has to go on a net. Next one says 4 coplanar points and a point B that is non-coplanar. Okay? So for this one, you would draw a box. How many points are you putting inside your box? 4. Do you need to label those points? It doesn't give you, so you don't have to, but it's fun to. I like to use the weird letters, the Z's, the Q's, the R's, and the P's. Okay? I like to use weird letters, not the ABC. Okay? And then it says B is non-coplanar. That one does have to be labeled with a B. But you could have picked any other letter besides B to label these ones inside of your plane. Okay? So, the answer key to this is on the second page. Okay? The worksheet is already online. You are ready to go.